Hi, John.
Morning, Brent.
You doing this fine first day?
Yes,
Nice and windy.
it is nice and windy for sure.
Hello, Iowa.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good morning.
How's Indiana today?
A little damp and windy.
Same here. Same
Okay.
here. We have a wind advisory right now.
Okay, we do too through most of the day.
Yep.
Sylvia?
Morning, Sylvia.
Good morning.
I'll get some coffee.
Hi, Caroline.
Hello, Sylvia. How are you today?
I'm doing well. It's a little windy, a little rainy.
Yes.
Hope that the internet stays on. Sometimes it doesn't do well in the wind.
Okay.
So Brent, you
We
just have
are-
to take over.
We're really lucky. They put in fiber optics here. It's like for a little bitty town, it's like crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are, the 3 second cousins with all the same great grandma.
That's right.
Yeah.
Isn't that
That's
fun?
right. Yep.
Brent, we were just saying that here's Caroline and Lynn and me, and we all 3 have the same great grandma.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Maybe that explains a lot. I don't know. You know,
I don't know that we want to know what you think it explains either.
I think I'll just leave it right there.
I think your audio is a little hit and miss today, Brent.
Is it? Okay. Yeah,
Sometimes I see your mouth moving, I don't hear anything.
that's pretty good, generally.
It's better that way. I don't know about that. Brent, are you and Neil communicating?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
Yes, Steve does too. He just texted with Neil this morning to see if they were still meeting in person or not, which they are.
The way things
How
are
is it?
going, it doesn't look good, though. I mean, with the 8,500 cases yesterday,
Yeah.
85?
8,500
Oh.
yesterday.
Wow,
That's a gain of 3,000 since 3 or 4 days ago.
that's horrible.
Yeah. Good
Morning,
morning,
Dan.
Dan.
The death
Morning,
rate is
everyone.
climbing and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hospitalizations are way up. There's over a third of patients, COVID
Coronavirus and
ICU units are used for COVID now.
Mm, mm,
My niece works at the Carmel St. Bede's Heart Hospital. And I asked her the other day if they had COVID patients there, and she said not yet, but they're probably going to end up having to have some. They did not during the first spike. They kept the heart patients there and kept the COVID patients elsewhere, but she's thinking that St. Bede's is going to have to make that decision at some point. On a totally different note, but before I forget, just a reminder that yesterday was Ruth's 94th birthday. I'm going to be late in getting her a card because I haven't done it yet, but at any rate, if you haven't, you might want to send her a card.
I talked to her Friday evening and gave her an early birthday wish.
Good.
Hello, Sue.
Good morning. Morning, everyone.
Morning. Morning.
Dan Bean and Dan Berger, hello.
Good morning, good morning.
Any news on your scan, Dan Berger?
The procedure went as it should, and the results won't be known for till Monday or Tuesday. But it's, if you've never had one, it's, doesn't take very long to be uncomfortable. You get jabbed in the pelvis with like a tree coring tool. They draw out some marrow and then put a big old Band-Aid on it and say, don't go swimming for a day or two.
Doesn't sound like any fun.
No, and this was actually just a more accurate test to see the cancer level that was believed to be unmeasurable at the end of the stem cell transplant. So this is confirming that the transplant did what it was supposed to do.
Mhm.
I can see that hair on your screen today.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
it's coming back in. I've had to shave once or twice. It's be growing most under the mask.
You need to put a mask on your head.
Well, it's getting close to needing a little trim around the sides. When it gets long enough, I can see that it's standing up. Then some standing up and some's laying down. But it's coming into hat wearing season, so maybe I'll hide it till spring.
Dan Bean, how are things in Iowa this morning?
Well, of course, the virus is terrible. The wind's about to blow things away again. But other than that, it's fine.
What's the latest on your church that burned?
Yeah.
Well, the people were, after the church burned, they were meeting in a community building in the small town of Green Mountain until it's a Methodist church, and the Iowa Conference just sent out notices and said no churches should be meeting at this time. We've got 6 or 7 cases of coronavirus in the congregation,
Oh, wow.
which confirms my decision not to go. In fact, Friday, the pastor and his wife tested positive, and she's got a low grade leukemia. So I think it's not a good situation for her.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen. It's an old congregation. I don't see a long-term future for it.
We at West Newton would be glad to share our building with your congregation, Dan. It might be a bit of a commute, but
It would be, wouldn't it?
be glad to have you.
This Zoom is a nice way to share.
It is.
Yes.
No.
I was just in our building about an hour ago to check on things as I do on Sunday morning and grab the mail and get the bills for Sue. I don't want her to feel unwanted and unloved. So I've got, Sue, I've got a whole bunch of stuff to send to you, but it's in a way, it's kind of sad to see the building and us not being there. Lots of good memories, but I'm hoping a year from now, we'll be able to be back in.
Morning, Chris.
Morning. See, it's just set up where I can see everybody. There's Nancy. There we go.
Morning, Chip.
Good morning. There you.
Is that Ainsley I hear?
Hi, Dan. I'm 7.
Good morning.
My birthday.
Good morning, birthday girl. Do you feel older?
Where?
And there's Eli. Good morning, Eli.
Eli's gonna be 3 on January.
Oh. He has to wait a little bit yet.
Yeah.
That must be fun.
You didn't clean up all the glitter and sequins yesterday. But we made pumpkin pie.
It's hard to get all that glitter up.
Oh, yeah. She got it in a, I was going to make some pie dough to put on top of the pie, and she got glitter in it, so that didn't happen.
Oh,
Eli, what do you need?
Excitement was going on a country ride yesterday. We found ourselves on roads we'd never been on,
Oh, all right.
What again?
never
Whereabouts?
heard of. So
Hardly paint.
there were times we said, where are we?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Those are fun drives, though.
morning, Dave.
Morning.
Had a little rain this week, did you?
Not as much as they said was going to happen. A couple of 3 or 4 inches maybe. Wet again this morning, taking Louis out for his walk at 7 o'clock.
Mhm.
But now it's not raining. Looked like kind of cold and windy in Iowa this morning and windy in Indianapolis.
It is.
It's certainly windy here.
Steve, you get done with your harvest?
On Thursday afternoon, we did. Thank you for asking.
Did everything perform as you had hoped and expected?
Okay, it's okay.
The equipment did. I'm not sure I did, though.
You're a lot older though.
Thanks.
You had a good harvest, both beans and corn?
Corn was probably near the best we've ever had. Beans were slightly above average. So feels good to sit here and look out the window at the wind blowing and the rain falling and not having to worry about it.
Sounds good. Dan, are you all through now?
Yeah, we finished up, I think Monday. And bean yields were good. Price of beans is really climbing, which is good. Our corn yields were surprisingly good for being flat on the ground. So I guess all in all, we were pleased.
Did I see a price on beans of something like $25 a bushel somewhere?
Well, not quite that high here. We started out the harvest season a little over $9, and it's something up near $11 now, which is a nice climb.
About half of what I thought I heard, which obviously was wrong.
Well, maybe you have a better market than I do.
In South Florida.
Yeah.
Transportation costs are pretty high from Iowa to southern Florida.
I expect so.
Morning, Norma.
Good morning.
Oh, here comes another cousin.
Steve,
Yes.
I have a question for you about some kinds of weeds that are growing along the edge of my field, all down next to the road. And there's some growing along the edge of my yard, and they have little tiny black seeds that are about 1/4 of an inch long, and they're getting stuck all over my Pyrenees.
I take no responsibility for those weeds or your dogs.
Morning, Dale Doral.
Good morning.
Hi, Joseph.
Morning, Sylvia. How are you?
I'm doing well. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone.
It's time to begin. So Sylvia is a worship leader today. Are there announcements or joys or concerns to share briefly before we get started?
Yes, I have something. Stan Bailey called me yesterday and kind of gave me an update on their family. He is doing really pretty well. He got rid of the collar around his neck and he is allowed to drive, and he's been out in the truck a couple of times. So that's good news. And good news from Dylan. He has taken his test for his GED diploma, and he passed the test very well and will have his diploma. And he says it's with honors, and we hope that's so. Anyway, because he has done so well, they have moved his date up to December the 19th to be released.
Good.
And that's all the news I have.
Well, I'd invite everybody to put yourself on mute. If you can't, I will. And Sylvia will lead us out of the silence when she feels led.
It's really good to see everyone this morning. I don't know about you, but I've been having a lot of trouble figuring out what day it is, what week it is, what month it is. I think it's in the middle of November now, 2020. And I know that many of us have been feeling weighted down with the anxiety about the pandemic, about the election and the economy. But according to the calendar, it's close to Thanksgiving. So in the next few weeks, we may be giving more attention to thanking God for our blessings. At Thanksgiving dinner, we will probably ask someone around our small tables this year, someone to say a blessing before having a grand feast. We might even go around the room taking turns to name a blessing for which we are especially thankful. I have been thinking a lot about the meaning of the word blessing or bless. Why do we say, God bless you, when someone sneezes? Well, Google says that one of the symptoms of the plague years ago was coughing and sneezing. And it is believed that Pope Gregory suggested saying, God bless you, after a person sneezes, in hopes that this prayer would protect them from an otherwise certain death. The expression may have also originated from superstition. Some people believe that the custom of asking for God's blessing began when ancient men thought that the soul was in the form of air and resided in a body's head. A sneeze, therefore, might accidentally expel the spirit from the body, unless God blessed you and prevented this from occurring. Some ancient cultures also thought that sneezing forced evil spirits out of the body, endangering others because these evil spirits might now enter their bodies. The blessing was bestowed to protect both the person who sneezed and others around him. Maybe they hadn't thought of wearing masks in those days. Well, whether either of those explanations is truth, I don't see the harm in saying or praying, may God bless you, under any circumstance, if the person receiving those words is somehow better for them. And certainly, if saying those words when someone coughs or sneezes keeps them from getting infected with COVID-19, perhaps we should be saying them repeatedly, day after day after day. Sometimes we hear the phrase, though that was a blessing in disguise. That phrase is used when misfortune turns into something good, such as, because I missed getting on the bus at the usual time today, I was not in that terrible accident. This is a truth when I was denied a boarding pass to get on an airplane to go to Kenya several years ago, because my passport had no extra pages on which to stamp a Kenyan visa. Dale and I got a large airline credit later to take a vacation in Costa Rica. Not only that, I was then at home and available to attend the funeral service for Dan Berger's brother after he died in Belize, which I considered a great privilege to attend. Those were both blessings in disguise. I don't know if a blessing in disguise really comes from God, but in my case, I felt it was so. And I do believe that true blessings do come from God. But I also think they can be channeled through people. Surely you have felt blessed by someone who said something or did something to lift your spirit to a higher place. So I want to explore further the meaning of the word bless or blessed or blessing by taking a look at how they are used in the Bible. One very familiar reference is in Numbers 6, verses 22 to 26, and is referred to as the Aaronic benediction. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons, this is how you are to bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace." Those words are repeated in Psalm 67, which in my study Bible is introduced with a note that says, "For the director of music, with stringed instruments, a psalm, a song." Well, if you were attending West Newton Friends when Betty Fields was the choir director, you heard and sang that song many, many times. Deuteronomy 28 starts with this promise: If you fully obey the Lord your God and carefully follow all his commands, he will set you high above all the nations on earth. All these blessings will come upon you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. Well, I'm not going to read all of those blessings word for word. I've summarized them in what the blessings are and who or what receives them. If you fully obey the Lord, you will be blessed in the city and in the country. Your children will be blessed. The crops on your land will be blessed. The young of your livestock will be blessed. Your basket, I'm assuming of bread, and your kneading trough will be blessed. You will be blessed when you come in and go out. Your enemies who rise up against you will be defeated. Your barn will be blessed. Everything you put your hand to will be blessed. You will be wealthy. The Lord will send rain on your land in season. You will have enough resources to lend to other nations, and you won't ever have to borrow from anyone. The Lord will make you the head and not the tail. You will be at the top and not the bottom. That's all if you fully obey the Lord your God. And in contrast, if you do not obey the Lord's commands, the verses following that say that you will not have any of these blessings, but rather be cursed in the city or in the country, coming or going. Well, I found no real description of the prosperity gospel that says that this passage serves as a foundation for that mindset, but it certainly sounds as if obedience and blessings are related, doesn't it? Remember, this is the Old Testament. I think Jesus had something new to say about that. This one is from Isaiah 41. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. So even though the word bless is not in that, could it be that when God gives us strength and help in trouble, when he says he's with us, could those be blessings? Well, there are other rather confusing references in the Old Testament, but I'd like to move to the New Testament to see if the meaning of blessing becomes clearer. In Philippians 4, verse 19, and my God will supply every need of yours according to his riches in glory in Jesus Christ. Whatever we need. Now, I'm guessing that God decides what we need rather than responding to what we think we need. But when he supplies our need, are those blessings? James 1, verse 12. Blessed is the man who perseveres under trial, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him. And every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the light, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. We will receive the crown of life, promised to those who love him. John 1, 16 and 17, and from his fullness we have all received one blessing after another. For the law was given through Moses. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. Ephesians 1, verse 3. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who has blessed us in Christ with every spiritual blessing in the heavenly places. For he chose us in him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in his sight. In love, he predestined us to be adopted as his children through Jesus Christ, in accordance with his pleasure and will, to the praise of his glorious grace, which he has freely given us in the one he loves. In him we have redemption and the forgiveness of sins with all wisdom and understanding. So with these and other verses, I conclude that a blessing is a spiritual gift from God that gives us an extra portion of love or hope or courage or patience or strength or forgiveness or grace that lifts us to a higher level of functioning. That's my definition. I didn't find that anywhere else. I'm going to read it again. A blessing is a spiritual gift from God that gives us an extra portion of love or hope or courage or patience or strength or forgiveness or grace that lifts us to a higher level of functioning. And if we are doing our best to follow what we believe is God's will, we may be more likely to receive these extra portions because he wants and needs us to keep in relationship with him to bring about his kingdom on earth. We may at some times ask him for these extra portions when we think we're running low, but he often surprises us with what we need to make it through some difficult situations, which is how I see the Beatitudes. They are such profound teachings from Jesus about blessings. I will read them from the New International Version, and then Dan Bean will read the same beatitude from the Message, which might help us with interpretation. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
You're blessed when you're at the end of your rope. With less of you, there is more of God and his rule.
Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted.
You're blessed when you feel you've lost what is most dear to you. Only then can you be embraced by the one most dear to you.
Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth.
You're blessed when you're content with just who you are, no more and no less. That's the moment when you find yourselves proud owners of everything that cannot be bought.
Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled.
You're blessed when you've worked up a good appetite for God. He's food and drink in the best meal you will ever eat.
Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy.
You're blessed when you care. At the moment of being careful, you find yourselves cared for.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God.
You're blessed when you get your inside world, that is your mind and your heart, put right. Then you can see God in the outside world.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God.
You're blessed when you can show people how to cooperate instead of competing or fighting. And that's when you discover who you really are and your place in God's family.
Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
You're blessed when your commitment to God provokes persecution. The persecution drives you even deeper into God's kingdom.
Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me.
Not only that, count yourself blessed every time people put you down or throw you out or speak lies about you to discredit me. What it means is that the truth is too close for comfort and they are uncomfortable. You can be glad when that happens. Give a cheer even. For though they don't like it, I do. And all heaven applauds. And know that you are in good company. My prophets and witnesses have always gotten into this kind of trouble.
So as you thank God for his blessings, think of the spiritual gifts he grants you. Sometimes when you ask for them, but often when you don't. I'd like to conclude with this prayer from Paul in his letter to the Ephesians. I pray that out of his glorious riches, God may strengthen you with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power, together with all the saints, to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. And be thankful.
you, Sylvia. As we come to the end, is there anything that friends would like to share before we close? Well, let us hold those who are afflicted by the pandemic in our prayers, as well as our nation and its political unrest at this time. And may God bless us, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's good to see you all.